today's bike video, I'm going to take you with us on a weekend cycling trip in Gifu and Nagano Prefectures. Saturday's ride went around Lake Suwa and visited Takashima Castle.
Want to see something cool?
Sunday's ride explored the turquoise rivers and tranquil woods surrounding Otaki Village, while Zeb raced Mount Ontake, and I can't wait to tell you how that race went. But first we'll start on Friday, where we drove from Kanazawa in Ishikawa Prefecture to spend the day in Takayama in Gifu Prefecture, before staying in Ina in Nagano Prefecture for our Saturday and Sunday rides. We stopped here in Takayama on the way down to our hotel, because it was my birthday and I wanted to spend the day with Zeb to celebrate.
Hello? Hello? Look who it is! We're on the way to one of Zeb's big bike races for the year on Sunday, so we're spending today for my birthday. We're gonna go wander around town by bike. I'm pretty excited.
The first place we went in Takayama was the Miyagawa Morning Market next to the river. You can find these wood statues around town as a reminder of Takayama's rich lumber and woodcrafts industry. In fact, they were so good at woodworking that a special tax exemption was made for Takayama and the larger Hida province. Taxes that were normally paid in rice could be paid with carpentry labor instead. These craftsmen were called Hida no Takumi, literally the experts of Hida. The carpenters from this mountain area were the ones who built some of the oldest temples and shrines in Japan. We had biked through this market once before on an early morning ride during our week-long summer bike touring trip, which I'll link below. I was kind of surprised by how bustling it was still, at close to 11 a.m. It opens at 7 or 8 a.m. in the winter, and it runs until noon. There are seasonal fruit and vegetables for sale, as well as food, pickled goods, souvenirs, and crafts. One of my favorite parts was visiting the Showa-kan Museum, with so many historical items and a full Showa-era set to explore. We especially enjoyed browsing the candy for sale and bought a few different kinds to take home, including some lemon chews with edible wrappers and tart kombu vinegar candies. Oh,
and some drops.
Yeah. The Showa era was from December 25th, 1926, until Emperor Hirohito's death on January 7th, 1989. It was preceded by the Taisha era and succeeded by the Heisei era. I think the Showa era is especially unique because of the incredible shift in public opinion during such a relatively short period of time. The early Showa era was characterized by some really brutal imperialism and ultra-nationalistic ideas, but public opinion and politics dramatically changed during the second half of this era after the Second World War. Sometimes the second part of the Showa era, from the 50s to the 80s, is romanticized as kind of a golden age here, because Japanese culture and products were spreading and becoming more popular. Thanks to things like train innovations, electric appliances, and car manufacturing, Japan became the second largest economy in the world after the United States during the post-war economy. Retro-themed museums and cafes have become popular, because I guess they bring a feeling of nostalgia. This was a really fun place to visit in Takayama.
The Showa Museum was so cool, and there's 2 of those in the city, so if you want to see more, you can go to a whole second retro museum afterwards.
From here we biked over to some temples on the edge of downtown Takayama. There's a Higashiyama walking course here that will take you on a tour of several scenic temples in the city. You might be surprised to know that Takayama is the largest city in Japan, based on physical area, thanks to merging with 9 surrounding towns and villages in 2005 to share resources. Takayama City is over 2,000 square kilometers, which is larger than Tokyo, but 92% of it is forest. We had lunch at Chamame Cafe, which was a relaxing and tasty restaurant. We both got the vegetable set menu for lunch. Takayama was a really nice place to bike around, and the Miyagawa River that runs through the middle is really peaceful. Only the central Old Town area was too crowded to bike through, but that's probably because we were visiting on a Friday afternoon. Speaking of peaceful places, we visited Sakurayama Hachimangu Shrine in Takayama before finishing the drive to our hotel for the weekend. This shrine dates back to the 400s.
Here's another one.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a doctor. Matakichi. My favorite is that guy's license.
Yeah.
We also got, well, biker boys.
Wow.
We were staying in Ina, Nagano for Zeb's bike race up Mount Ontake on Sunday. He was racing the hill climb event this year again, and we actually got a great view of Ontake on our drive.
There's the boy. There's what he's climbing on Sunday. It's Saturday. It's the day before Zeb's big race, so I'm gonna go do a fun ride, and Zeb's gonna come with me for the start, but he's gonna peel back after he does his opener so he doesn't get too much riding in before his big day. We're gonna go ride over to Lake Suwa and hopefully see a castle.
I'm not.
Nagano Prefecture has some beautiful mountains, and we've ridden here before during trips to the city of Matsumoto, the Utsukushigahara Highlands, and the Nakasendo Historic Road. I was excited to bike somewhere new here, and I planned a route out to see Lake Suwa. In fact, if you like the anime movie Your Name, or Kimi no Na wa, you'll be interested in both Lake Suwa and Takayama. The fictional town where Mitsuha lives is said to be based on the Hida Mountain area around Takayama, and the lake in the movie is based on Lake Suwa.
Oh, snake. Almost hit him. But I didn't. Okay, we were supposed to be on the road, not that bike path. But the rice fields are pretty.
Zeb turned back to the hotel soon after this because he didn't want to do too big of a ride before racing. I had heard that Suwa had a bike lane around the whole lake, but this was even better than I was expecting.
Okay, so this is Lake Suwa, and we're gonna ride partway around it, but they have this really cool greenway that goes all the way around it, and there's a bunch of runners and other bikers out today, so it's really nice. I will say that the roads to get here were not ideal. A lot of the drivers were like more in a rush than other places I've been, but it seems pretty worth it so far. It's really nice here.
The bike lane was the width of a road, directional, and paved smooth, without the grooves that a sidewalk has. Also, there was a separate lane for pedestrians, so you didn't have to worry about getting in the way of anyone walking or jogging either. It was so comfortable to ride on, and there was also multiple footpath spots around the lake, which was really cool. I had been to Lake Suwa one time before, but this was my first time seeing it in the daytime. Zeb and I came here last summer during our week-long bike trip, and we took the train down from Matsumoto to see the huge annual fireworks show. They shut down the streets for that festival, and they set off an incredible display of over 40,000 fireworks over the lake. So just outside Lake Suwa, there's a castle. This was originally constructed in 1592, and it used to be called the Floating Castle because the lake extended all the way out to this spot, surrounding the castle like a moat. The lake doesn't reach that far anymore, and the castle was dismantled by government order in the 1870s, but it's since been reconstructed.
Ta-da! The garden is free to enter and it's really pretty in there. I think if I wasn't trying to get back for the afternoon, I would spend a bunch more time just hanging out in the garden.
I rode along the Kami River from the castle to get out to the main climb of the ride. Before starting the climb, I passed the Suwa Taisha Kamisha Maimiya. This shrine is one of 4 Shinto shrines of Suwa Taisha, and it's said to be the spot where the Suwa deity first resided. This complex of 4 shrines is not only important for Nagano Prefecture, but it's one of the oldest shrines in the country. The ride had been really flat so far, but about halfway into the route was where the bulk of the climbing was. I climbed up Road 152 and stopped here at the pass to look at the view and get something to drink. If you want to admire the view a little longer, there's also a cafe up here. I descended for a bit, but then I began the next climb over to Momiji Lake. Momiji means the red-colored maple leaves in the fall, and it actually uses the same kanji as koyo, but that pronunciation refers to the process of the foliage changing. I bet that the Momiji Lake is true to its name in the fall, though. There were so many maple trees that I rode through. Momijigari is what you call leaf hunting, or admiring the changing leaves. We used to call it leaf peeping growing up.
This lake is really pretty. Look at the mountain over there.
I was riding back through Ina now along the Tenryu River, but there was one more spot that I wanted to see before going back to the hotel. The Takato Rose Garden. The town of Takato was really cute, and there was a hot spring onsen here too.
So if you can't make it to this area in the fall to see the momiji, maybe you can make it in the spring to see all the roses and the flowers that are here in the garden.
I climbed up to the rose garden and they were just starting to bloom.
As far as I can tell, this garden is free, which is really surprising because it's so nice and well kept. I can't believe they don't charge for it.
After admiring the roses, I descended back into the city of Ina. Riding through the vast rice fields with the backdrop of the mountains was really pretty.
Hello?
Hello?
It's race day.
Yep.
Are you excited?
Finally, it was the day of Zeb's race. He had been preparing and training hard for months leading up to this, and I was excited for him. We got up early and we drove about an hour to the race location at Matsubara Sports Park.
Oh, and it's my old zip code.
Really?
Or area code. Yeah, 336.
That's cool.
It's Moxville.
Zeb checked in and got his number to race. He got everything ready, and I helped him pin his jersey numbers on.
You can read them.
No, they go across the back. So like.
Though I think my pinning could use a little bit of work.
I think it'll go well. I'm excited to hear about it.
A little bit once I check in.
Okay, Zeb has an hour until his race, so he's gonna go warm up, finish checking in, and we're gonna go ride around the area a bit and explore some roads that we didn't ride last time.
Ontake is a volcano, and it's also a holy mountain for those who follow the Ontake religion. This is a specific branch of Shintoism that worships the mountain itself, and believes that the mountain is where your soul returns when you die. I talked a little bit more about this in my video from Ontake last year, where we rode up the mountain and visited the Kiyotaki waterfall. The last eruption here was fairly recent actually, only in 2014, when it erupted suddenly and killed 60 people. So it definitely feels like an area where the nature demands respect. The rural forest is beautiful though, and I was excited to explore some new roads around the base of the mountain that I didn't get to ride last time.
Hello?
Where have you been?
I didn't expect to see you.
I'm warming up.
Oh.
I'm going back there now. Yoichi stopped me and told me that I might be able to put my bike in his car because he's going to drive the top. He said the top is 7 degrees right now.
Jeez.
So he was like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, I guess. So we'll see, but I gotta go. So.
Okay, well good luck. It's very pretty.
Otaki Village has a population of around 700, so there's actually more monkeys than people living here.
Oh, there's so much infrastructure back here.
The Otaki River is a beautiful, vibrant turquoise color, which I followed into the forest.
The water is so blue.
This is the Shizenko Lake, which formed in 1984 after a magnitude 6.8 earthquake created a landslide. Part of Ontake actually collapsed down the side of the mountain, creating a dam that caused this lake.
So you can come out here and paddle around by kayak on this lake. There's a bunch of trees and things in the lake because this wasn't created that long ago, and so that's why there's all these kind of eerie trees like sticking up out of the water.
In fact, this bridge was actually part of the Otaki Forest Railway, which was mostly used to transport lumber in the Kiso Valley. But it was discontinued in 1975. The railway became a road, which was buried during the 1984 earthquake. The current road was built afterwards. You can still see parts of the old railroad in this area, though. I recently learned about a gravel race that happens here in Otaki Village in late September, the self-discovery adventure in Otaki, and they use some roads in this area. I linked the race website below if you want to check that out. Unfortunately, I didn't have my gravel tires on my bike, so I wasn't really able to explore that part of the course, but I did want to see how far I could ride Road 486 before it turned to gravel. The road was still paved through here, and I think the gravel race goes on the road up to the right. However, I don't think you can continue on this road past the dam up ahead, and I started seeing so much monkey poop everywhere, at least I think it was from monkeys, so I figured it was a good place to turn back. I rode through the small village out here, but the soba shop is temporarily closed. On my way back, I stopped to check out the Kurigase Canyon. I finished my ride with a loop around Ontake Lake.
Behind me right now is Ontake, so Zeb should be partway up that mountain right now, and I'm just biking around the lake right here, but I got my phone on because I'm eagerly awaiting what his result is going to be and to hear how it went.
I stopped here to get a snack, and I also picked up this badge for Zeb with Mount Ontake on it. I got some dried apricots and continued my loop around the lake.
Okay, I pulled over because Zeb just texted me. He goes second! That is so cool. I'm gonna call him.
Since the road up Ontake was closed for the hill climb, I couldn't drive up to see Zeb's podium ceremony, but I was really excited to see him once his teammate drove him back down the mountain.
He did it!
I did it.
Second!
Second.
Wow!
In Japan, they seem to give out paper certificates instead of medals, so Zeb got this very fancy piece of paper from the JBCF. It's hanging in our living room now.
Zeb's looking through all his little photos and kind messages everybody sent.
Well, here are the podium pictures.
Wow! Look at him.
This is when I felt like I was about to die. But I kept having to like try and like smile for photos. I really did it,
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's go get something to eat.
Yeah. Want some fried chicken or something. need some meat.
Thanks for watching my bike vlog about our weekend road trip, bike rides, and race. I hope to see you in the next video.